So I know a big question I think a lot of us had or have when we're first getting into crystals is our rational mind wants to understand how they work, how they affect the body. And I know that's usually the criticism a lot of people have when trying to, I guess, justify it, not only to themselves, but to other people. Especially if you're new to this and the people around you don't understand. They're not ready to wrap their mind around that reality that, rocks do things and they can affect you. Um, so over the years, I feel I've put together a pretty good explanation for all of you who are trying to justify it to someone else or maybe just to yourself. And so everything gives off a vibration. Science has proven that. That I would hope is common knowledge now. It's not, but it should be. And they've done a lot of videos. You can find them online. You just got to Google search it. Where essentially they put little grains of sand or even a glass of water on a tone generator plate or a speaker, right? And you can see the vibrations in the water, right? All you got to do is literally turn on your speaker, your music, and put a glass of water in front of it, and you'll see the ripples that it makes from the sound waves, right? The frequency that it's giving off. So we are like 90 something percent water. We're a giant water balloon walking around with a structure, right? So if everything gives off frequency and we're all water, why would it be any different from you putting that glass in front of a speaker and turning it on? This is the speaker giving off the frequency. We are the glass of water. Now, because everything is vibrating at a certain frequency and giving off that frequency, that includes us, our organs, our thoughts, right? Our emotions. Again, emotion is just energy in motion. So when you're having like a negative thought, right? It's a low frequency, it's a low vibration, it's moving very slowly. That's why in nightmares, when you're scared and are running from something, you never seem to move fast enough, right? It always catches you because you're scared versus the dreams where you're not and you can move freely, right? You're not hindered because you're vibrating at a faster frequency. So essentially you have crystals in this case that are giving off a certain frequency. We are giant water balloons with certain aspects of us, our thoughts, our organs, our emotions, all vibrating at certain frequencies. And when you take a crystal or a tone, a frequency that could be for like sacred sound type healing, singing bowls, chimes, that kind of stuff is all very similar. And you introduce it to your vibration, your aura, right? It goes around us like an egg, comes out of our head and from our feet or our butts, depending on if you think it comes from the spinal cord or just as a whole, our body. And it affects us. So let's say theoretically this one vibrated at the same frequency as the heart, right? So they're vibrating at the same. Let's say your heart has some issue, right? It's not vibrating at the intended frequency because of an excess usage of caffeine and you've weakened the heart or whatever. This essentially helps it like build back up to that frequency that it should be, right? It's reintroducing the proper frequency and kind of helping it to level back out to where it should be. So you can affect your body by introducing certain crystals that vibrate at certain frequencies, right? So like for instance here, I have a couple kyanites and an aquamarine because I'm making a video, throat chakra. So all of these will affect the throat. And especially if you have an issue with your throat chakra, you fumble over your words a lot, you say you stammer, whatever the case may be, try that. Get a crystal, a light blue crystal that's associated with the throat chakra. There's tons of them. Doesn't have to be those. They're not expensive. And just carry it around with you. And notice, take note at the end of the day. And I think you'll find that your ability to speak was a lot more fluid, right? And it usually only takes about 20 minutes of having it with you, but why not just put it in your pocket and carry it? And you can completely forget all about it, right? But you get an actual real life representation of how that it is in fact affecting you. Now, for people saying, well, frequencies don't affect the body, well, that's their own stupidity, because a perfect real world example of how a frequency can affect your body is music. We've all listened to music, right? There's no one in the world who hasn't heard music. And there's certain music that, just makes you super sad, right? Freaking Remember When by what's his face. I think most people have seen the video I'm talking about where they put it to like the movie Up and it makes you want to die. It's so sad. But, you know, each music makes you feel a certain way. It invokes certain emotions in you because it's stimulating those emotions at those frequencies in you. So you have sad music, you have music that just gets you amped up and excited, motivates you, makes you ready to just freaking fight someone, right? They all do something. It's the same thing. It's a frequency that's affecting your body, and in this case your emotions, in a certain way to elicit a certain response. And you can manipulate that. You can introduce certain crystals that help with your speaking, affect certain organs if you're having issues with them, certain outcomes, be it like abundance, if you're trying to attract that mindset, because our internal reflects in our external. So if internally you feel abundant, like you have enough, you are enough, right? Wealth of whatever kind, it doesn't have to be money, just a wealth of something, an abundance of something. And you can take a crystal that's meant for abundance, in this case this is Libyan desert glass, and you can carry it with you and get that mindset, right? It's affecting your emotions and your thoughts in that way, gearing them more towards an abundant mindset. That's what you're going to attract on the outside too. That's the entire principle of the law of attraction. Despite what everyone says about like, you got to do it, but then forget about it because by thinking about it means that you don't have it. And, it's this round robin effect of just bullshit. Just your internal is reflected in your external. As above, so below. A lot of different belief systems all say the same thing in their own special way. But you introduce a crystal, it affects you in a certain way because it gives off a vibration, and we are a giant meat suit sack of water, and everything is vibrating. There's your explanation. 7 minutes, and I just saved, hopefully a ton of you 1,000 explanations to people who are trying to convince you that you're wrong and that they're right, because that's really what it is. Not only are you trying to justify it to yourself, right? Because when we first start, we're all on the fence, right? You want it to be true, but the rational part of you is like, this is a rock. This is a rock. I have a rock in my pocket, and I think it's going to do something, but it does. But on the flip side, they are trying to justify to themselves that they are right and that you're wrong. Because if you're right, their entire reality just starts to crumble. That's their awakening. And if they're willing to accept it, it's their time to awaken to a different reality, a higher vibrational reality, that there's more to life than what's been put in front of our face. So there's your explanation. Hope you like it. If you did, throw it a like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you're interested in crystals, I do sell them on my Etsy shop. Link will be in the description. Also, we have a crystal community on Discord. Link is in the description if you would like to come join us. I would love to see you there. So, talk to you guys later.